Welcome to yet another edition of the Phil Taylor Jones Show. Today we're going to be reviewing something that is in the news and a very serious incident that has been happening for at least a few years now. That's the debacle that is the Flint water drinking water situation. I'm Phil Taylor Jones, your host, and let's jump into this dirty water right now. You know, it infuriates me, first off, that so many people in Flint are suffering because of drinking tainted water that was pumped in to them by way of a non-elected, greedy official who was only concerned about saving money, switching over from the Detroit reservoir to the tainted and polluted and corroded, corruption was a part of it, corroded Flint River. As I said before, when you see that water gushing out through this little injection point for the water to come out, it's so tainted and so polluted that there are actually deposits that have built up there, and it's like a shelf that it goes under. It's disgusting. That water is a mucky, dirty, greenish, brown. Oh God, I wouldn't, as much as I hate rats, and I hate those disgusting vile creatures, I wouldn't even let a rat drink from that water. It's disgusting. And to think that this Snyder idiot knew that this was happening. The timelines are showing that he knew what was going on, and yet he allowed it to happen, allowing countless children and adults to drink this filth. But yet he stays in office. That's what irks me to the bone. He stays in office like, well, I didn't do anything wrong. I'm trying to take care of it now. I'm getting them clean water. And it's not being delivered door to door as was once thought. Those people are still suffering. They gave them some Brita or either pure water filters, and it's like putting a Band-Aid on a dead man. There's so many contaminants and so much gunk and crap in that water that those poor little filters are overwhelmed. It's not working. And then to think of the ongoing situation with the people, especially the children, that have been ingesting this filthy water for all the time that they've been doing it. What kind of effects is that going to have on them long range? We know that there are developmental problems coming from too much lead in the bloodstream. There are mental things that can happen from too much lead in the bloodstream. The people are getting lesions on their skin. They're losing their hair. They're losing their eyesight. They're coming up with dementia, and children are failing in school because of this filthy water by this filthy non-elected creep. His name is Darnell something or other. To add insult to injury, he left the position under the governor, who he only reported to, by the way, and then went to the Detroit area and started being the superintendent of schools there. The schools are deplorable. There are mice running around and rats in the classroom biting the students. They have to play in the hallway because the gym in a lot of the schools is so damaged that it looks like the surface of the moon, with all the hills and the craters where you can see where the roof has collapsed, or not the roof, but the ceiling, because the roof is so bad that it snows and rains inside and leaks outdoors. So the flooring on the gym, it's made of wood slats, all warped, and it looks like something out of a moonscape, honestly. There are rusty pipes. There are not little spots on the floor where there's some tiles missing or, some wood missing. There are gaping holes in the floor. And they got a little caution tape around that. And this same Darnell creep that was responsible for this water debacle in Flint has done the same thing to Detroit schools. So he resigned suddenly. Too little, too late, Darnell. You idiot. You scuzzbag. You bastard. And here's the rub. That Snyder guy is still in office. Not on my watch. If I were president of the United States, he would be gone. 2 years ago. And speaking of that bag of garbage, one Barack insane bastard, the best thing he can do with all of this in the news, all of this all over the internet, on telly, newspapers, radio, wherever you wish to look for news, this Flint incident is all over it. The best he can do is go visit a mosque. Well, whoop-dee-damn-do. Don't you think as President of the United States, you would be more concerned with the health and welfare of children that are drinking tainted water full of lead? But no, you hop your happy ass over and go join, and rather go to visit a mosque. And then try to ostracize people because they don't particularly care for the Islamic religion. Well, what do you know about that? But that's classic old bastard. He always dodges the important stuff and picks up on crap.
Backwards priorities.
Backwards as a mosquito. Mm-hmm. Speaking of mosquitoes, this what is it? Zika garbage is in the U.S. now. Mm-hmm. Big surprise there. It's everything's crawling over the border, and the Zika infestation is here. Mm-hmm. And what does this guy do? Oh, I'm going to go visit a mosque. Oh, they're so cool. I'm so happy I visited that. Oh, God. You know.
How does that help our
the
country?
office of... Oh, I'm sorry. Go ahead.
I don't mean to cut you off either. How does that help our country?
Oh, it helps it immensely because, you know, muzzies rule and everybody else drools. I mean, seriously, the office of president used to be held in a very high esteem. I guess in a lot of ways it still is. It's just the skunk that occupies that office. Mm-hmm. But when he does leave, they're going to have to fumigate the place. Whoever's going to be the president.
Burn it down.
You know, they're going to have to fumigate that place for a good year and a half before they can take residence. I mean, this guy stinks to high hell. And to think that there are children suffering, and the best he can do is go to a mosque.
And not supporting, if some people claim he's black by appearance, even though Hussein is not a black name, he's not supporting his alleged fellow, well, they're not alleged, he is. He's not supporting his black people, you know.
He never has.
Support muzzies instead.
He never has. You know, he only supports muzzy-based people. That's where his heart lies. But I mean, seriously, in Flint, there are nothing but impoverished black folks, white folks, and Hispanic folks. Mm-hmm. Now, if you go down the ways in Michigan a bit to a place called Grosse Pointe, which is one of the most affluent, if not the most affluent place in Michigan, it's equivalent to our Bel Air. It's even past Beverly Hills. It's you know, we have a place here in California, in Los Angeles, well, in and around the township called Bel Air. Mm-hmm. And this is where the super, super, super rich folks live. It even surpasses Beverly Hills. Well, in Michigan, Grosse Pointe is like our Bel Air. Or you think of where you are in your neck of the woods, where you know, the most affluent people are in the neighborhoods, you know, those big, gigantic mansions and all them nice, big, fine cars. Mm-hmm. You know, that's what Bel Air is in Michigan. Now, if that had been the situation in Bel Air, where all the rich white folks live, oh no, they would have jumped all over it with 6 feet. But because of these people, you know, regular salt of the earth folks, oh, well, you know, let them drink the poison water. And for what? Money. Money is worth your life, worth more than your life. Children are dying. Children are going to be sick. If they make it to adulthood, what is going to be their outcome? Will they be, you know, aware enough to know that they're adults? because of this lead poisoning that's chewing and eating away at them every day, that could turn to all kinds of other health complications such as cancers or tumors or all kinds of crap. Because not only were they drinking lead poisoning, you should see that one. It looks like coffee.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, it's the most vile, nasty, thick, ugh,
It's a damn shame.
that you ever want to see. And nobody is doing anything to get that bastard Snyder out of office. He's still there making six figures. He's still there allowing the people to drink this filthy water. What they should do is they should tie him down in a place in Flint and make him drink that water.
Mm-hmm.
A nickel-sick bastard. And to think that there are millions and millions of innocent children that are, affected by this. Now they're talking about the prison. There's a prison nearby. And they're talking about it's inhumane punishment to have the prisoners drinking the water. Well, contingent upon why they're in prison, I really wouldn't care. If they've murdered somebody or done something heinous, like raping little kids or doing something really nasty and horrible, then let them drink the tainted water. But, innocent children and innocent citizens that are in Flint trying to, play by the rules and not even being able to have decent water to drink, what kind of country do we have here? And to think that the perpetrator of all of this, the sadistic creep that allowed this to happen, is still in office, still making asinine and possibly lethal decisions every day. He should be gone. And you, oh bastard, you nickel-sick piece of crap, if you had to go anywhere and you had to do anything, you should have hopped your scroungy butt on that 747 and flown over to Flint and told Snyder, you pack your bags, pal, you don't work here anymore. I could soon put a dog in office and he'd do better than you. Get out! But no, you go visit a mosque. Oh boy, you disgusting. They should give him some of that poison water. Let him drink it.
Mm-hmm.
Anyway, folks, I think maybe the exec has something to say, and then we'll close out the show.
Yeah, it might sound like I'm going off point because it's about the debate again, but when you hear what I have to say, it is on point. One thing I did agree about that Slithery had to say is that she said that, similar to the Grosse Pointe thing you were talking about, that if the people were white instead of black, that something would have already been done about it, and I agree with her on that.
Oh, yeah.
Racism has been around too long, and it's going to be around to stay for the simple purpose that people just be that way. It's ridiculous.
And not only racism, but though the haves versus the have-nots.
Mm-hmm.
They figure, well, the haves, they're not going to stand for it, so we better do something for them. But the have-nots, oh, who bloody cares? They're lucky to get the tainted water. Let them die of thirst if they don't want them.
Mm-hmm.
That's their attitude.
Mm-hmm.
And it's just a travesty. And as I alluded to before, I was born in Michigan.
Mm-hmm.
And, this is very hurtful to me.
It's home.
And if they're that laxed about caring for people and having clean water to drink in Michigan, where else might it spread? Because if you've got greedy politicians who, in essence, don't give a damn whether you live or die, then Michigan today, your state tomorrow. So, what's going on in Michigan, we need to keep an eye on that and, get on the phone, get on your computers, whatever, tablets, cell phones, write letters, typewriter, anything, and get to those muckety mucks in Washington and demand that Snyder bastard be kicked out quick, fast, in a hurry, because he has no business in public office. If you can be that careless, that lax in your duty, then you have nowhere near being in public office to, quote, serve the people. You're poisoning them with that nasty water. So, we got to keep an eye on that one, folks. And we thank you once again for joining us for this very important topic and subject. And like I said, whatever we can do to sort of speed this thing up, Let's do it. You know, write some letters, make some noise. Let them know that, hey, you know, maybe we won't elect you next time your term's up if you don't do something about this situation. As much as you jump on the bandwagon about climate change and all of that, but you stand idly by. I haven't heard too many politicians say anything about this water change from fresh drinking water to that toxic cocktail that those people have been drinking for 3 years. It's funny how you can be so dogmatic and so diligent about one thing and actually see people dying and do bloody nothing. What's bloody wrong with you? So get on the phones, get on the computers, write some letters, make some noise. These children and these adults need our help. And hey, like I said, it's Flint today, your town tomorrow. Stay happy if you can with all of this craziness in this society, and stay safe and take care. Bye-bye.